Hi everybody, and welcome to a new Beatles Finds video. I've got books to show, I've got some rare and unusual LP records to show, got an 8-track tape, and I've also got a 45. So, I think I'm going to start with the 8-track tape. This is an 8-track of Meet the Beatles, and what I like about this one in particular is it's pretty clean, and a lot of times when you get these, you always get those bubbly, kind of gluey residue gook on there, bumps, and this one is pretty clean. So I was happy to add this to my 8-track collection by the Beatles. Okay, next up we'll do the 45. The 45 I have here is an upgrade. It's a solo Beatles item, and it's Give Ireland Back to the Irish, Paul McCartney so-called picture sleeve. I think I have this one, if I'm not mistaken, the edge is cut off on an angle. So that's a nice upgrade of this. Okay, I'm going to do the books and then we'll save the records for last, the LPs, okay? First off is one that I haven't gotten yet, a book, and I've wanted it, just was always putting off picking it up. Instamatic Karma. It's a May Pang, a book by her. A lot of great photos in here of her time spent with John Lennon. And so many good photos that I can't really even begin to show all of them. But I've really wanted this for a long time, and it's one of those items you just keep putting off, putting off. There's also photos in here of the time when, although this is not the one, there's Julian, May, and John, when Paul reunited with John. And I'm really hoping that really quickly I might be able to find the photo, because it could be anywhere in here. There you go. Picture over there is John and Paul relaxing together, and Ringo and Paul over there. Really good book. Nice photos in here. Instamatic Karma, good title too. Okay, here's a book. The Stories, the Scene, 50 Years On, The Beatles in America by Spencer Lee. Way too many photos to show. There's the Ronettes over there looking pretty nice. And how do you go through a book like this and show all the pictures? You can't. Just can't do it. But it's a nice book. Now we have Yesterday, the Beatles, 1963 to 65, Robert Freeman, with a foreword by Paul McCartney. And I think you recognize the session that is. And this one too is a kind of familiar image. Excuse me. A lot of good photos in here. A lot of these we've seen before, you know. Got Mick Jagger in the studio there. One more. Okay, the final book that I have here, it's called The Beatles by Tim Hill. Large size book. You know, when you collect stuff like this, the Beatles, I mean, there's no end to the amount of stuff that you can get. You know what I'm saying? Books just never run out when it comes to Beatles. Okay, so that gives you some idea of the books. Add them to my ever-increasing book collection of the Beatles. Now we're going to go for some vinyl, and I got these in my record store today. I was just down there, and when I was there, the shipment just came in. And two of them I'm going to open, because two of them are on colored vinyl, and I don't know what color the vinyl is. But I'm going to start, before I do that, I'm going to show you this one, which I bought solely for the cover. I mean, that is a beautiful cover. It's called The Taste of Honey, and all it is Live at the Star Club in Hamburg, 1962, which, as the proverbial saying goes, I need another version of this like I need a hole in the head. However, I got to tell you guys and gals, I absolutely am a sucker for a really nice cover, and I buy this in a case like this just because of the beauty of it and as an art piece. This is even nice to frame. So I will collect records that, in this case, I won't even bother opening it. Why? It's not on colored vinyl or anything. And it's only a few tracks off of, 16 tracks off of the Hamburg sessions. And by the way, Pete Best did not play this particular live concert at the Star Club. So let's misrepresentation there. All right. Now, the last two I think are the most interesting. I'm going to start with this one. Okay, which says, it's Jukebox Jury. Nice cover there. Jukebox Jury, where the Beatles were present to vote on some tracks, some songs that they hear, and they would judge. Now, we're going to open this up because it says limited edition, hand-numbered, 180-gram colored vinyl, and also full-color insert. So we're going to do it. Side one has all other, which says Jukebox Jury. I think that's the audio to this show. I think it says here, it says that there's no video of this. There's no video. The visuals are sadly lost, but the audio of both programs is presented here. So anyway, the first side has 13 tracks by all kinds of people. The Mersey Beats, Bobby Vinton, Bill Fury, Paul Anka, the Swinging Blue Jeans, Elvis Presley, etc., etc. And the Beatles get to vote. I don't even know if you can get a good look at the track list. The Beatles get to vote on what they think the songs are, I believe. If they're good, give them a rating. And on the second one here, looks like some performance by the Beatles with a lot of early tunes from 1963, okay? So, I'm going to open this up and see what's on the inside. And every time I use this X-Acto knife, the blade is actually not that sharp. And I keep meaning to get something sharper. But this is very unusual, so it's an unusual item. And this will be a record I'll play. I'm interested in listening to it. Now, it said it had a color insert, so there it is. Which, of course, explains the show, whether it's a hit or a miss. You know, you vote on whether they think the track is a hit or a miss. And they promise colored vinyls, so let's do it. Okay? It's a regular white inner sleeve, and there's colored vinyl. Very dark blue. So, this is something a little unusual to have in the collection. It's not just a retread. By the way, the inner sleeves have plastic lining, so they're plastic-lined inner sleeves. Okay? And the last one I have here is another in this series of what you might call unofficial records. I don't know. This is called The Beatles Abroad. And you can read it there, The Beatles Abroad. 1965 North American Tour in words and music. And summer 1965 tour in North America. Covered on behalf of the BBC by the veteran pop broadcaster Brian Matthew, traveling with the band. Between August 15th and 20th, he enjoyed good access to the Beatles. So hopefully, it says a fascinating documentary presented here with background notes. Hopefully it's of interest and something a little more unusual. I can't read all the tracks. If you can, be my guest and pause. I'm getting nothing but glare here as I look at this, so I don't know what you're getting. All right. But there's a lot of stuff here. I've just seen a face. Brian Matthews talks to George. You like me too much. John talks about Shea Stadium. Tell me what you see. Brian Matthews talks with a fan. And so there's dialogue and songs here. And we're going to do a sealed to revealed here. All right. Inner sleeve first. A lot of information. Okay, and final one to look at. Well, this is an interesting. Same thing. A lined inner sleeve, but this time we have light blue vinyl. The Beatles Abroad on light sky blue, I think they call it. Vinyl. Well, that's it for this edition of Beatles Finds. I hope you enjoyed. Talk to you soon.